Welcome back everybody to Outdoor Power Tech. Today we have a Troy built pony in the shop. Customer says that his steering's getting tight on it. So we're going to replace these bushings in the front. It'll be top and bottom on both sides. And I'll show you here in a minute once we get started, but you have a bushing right here on the top. That's just a spacer. You have plastic bushing here and one on the bottom. But let me go over the tools that you'll most likely need. All right, you'll need a hammer of some sort, flathead screwdriver, needle nose pliers, and I have a small set of like a flathead pliers, like that, or just a regular pair of pliers will work too. 1/2 inch wrench and a 1/2 inch. You can use 2 1/2 inch wrenches, or I'm going to use a socket, ratchet and socket in a wrench. And then we have grease, and of course you're going to need paper towels, stuff like that, clean your hands, or you can wear gloves also. And then you'll also need a jack stand, 2 jack stands, sorry, and a jack. You can use just your jack when you go from left or right. I like to go ahead and just jack it up and get both sides up. It just makes things a whole lot easier. So when you get done, you can really work that grease into the bushings and stuff and not have to worry about having to lift both sides at different times. So let's get started. Get up underneath here. Just get it up high enough that the wheels are off the floor. And that should be sufficient enough. And then we'll let this down. There we go. Let's let this here flip. Push this out of the way, just so when you walk around your tractor, you don't trip over it and fall. That's a good practice to do anyways when you're working on stuff like this. Working on anything for that matter. Another thing you don't have to a shop vac, because we're going to be sucking out all the dirt and stuff from around where those bushings are. Or if you have a air nozzle, you can spray it out, but wear safety goggles. But I like to just scrape it out and suck it up with a vac. So let's get you over here. You can some people will take the wheel off. I prefer just to do it like this. If you want to take the wheel off, we can do it that way. And that way you'll know how to take the wheel off as well. So yeah, let's just do that. All right, there you go. Since we're gonna do it this way, you're gonna need a hammer with a claw on it. And what we'll do is, you're gonna want to get up underneath, behind this plastic piece right here, and just pop it off, just like that. And then we'll just set that to the side. This may be way easier for y'all anyways. So let's get you down here where you can see what's going on. All right, first thing we're gonna do after taking the cap off is we're gonna pull this cotter pin off. And that's why I like to have these type of pliers. You can use regular pliers if you want to though. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab this right here. You might have to get your screwdriver and get it far enough like that so you can get a good grip on it, because these are big cotter pins and they'll probably break. So be easy if it's an old unit. Then I get a pair of needle nose pliers like this and just pop them out like that. Set this pin to the side. Pull this off. And then we'll pull this off. Probably go ahead and grease those. Yeah, cause everything's plastic nowadays. But we'll go ahead and grease all that also before we put it back on. All right, pop that back in. Okay, now we got a cotter pin right here. So adjust you so you can see what I'm talking about. We got a cotter pin right here on the top of this right here. See how I can turn this way. There we go. And what we're gonna do is grab it like this and turn these this way. I'm gonna get y'all closer so you can see what I'm. So this cotter pin right here, I done straightened these out already. I'll get a little more straight. And then push it on out. And then this is gonna be, this rod right here goes over to your left side of the tractor. And so whenever you turn your steering wheel, when this axle turns like this, it pushes the other side. So we'll just pop that out of the way like that. And then we'll start working on this part right here. And what we're gonna do, get your 1/2 inch, your 2 1/2 inch wrenches or your ratchet 1/2 inch and the wrench, and then we're gonna take this off. All right. Once that's done, you're gonna want to get your hammer, back it off. I'd back it off that much where it's a good 1/2 inch room like that. Leave your nut on, and then just tap this off. That's why I like using a rubber hammer. And then your axle will slide out from your unit. Let's get you over here like this. Now look like y'all not level. Oh, it might be because of that jack stand. All right. Go ahead and pull out your axle. Hold on to this because it goes back on the top right here. Set to the side. And then what we're going to do now, start working on this area right here. These bushings sometimes can be a butt to come out, or they can just slide right out sometimes. You're going to be replacing them anyway, so it don't matter if you mess them up. The main thing is that you don't mess up the metal axle that they slide down into. So let's see here what we got here. They don't look too bad, but they mushrooming out. You see that mushroomed out right here? See how it's mushroomed out? So that's been getting a lot of play in it. Good. I was just seeing if the other ones were gonna fit right. All right. That's why it's good to have a pair of needle nose pliers so you can work it like that. All right, well, you seen how these were in. Can you see all this dirt in here? Because these are plastic and they're not covered, your axle right here, all the dirt that gets in your housing right here will go into these bearings and wear them out super fast. It's a bad design, just like all MTD stuff, but what can you do about it? All right, I'm gonna get my vacuum and screwdriver and scrape all that out and vacuum it, and I'll be right back with you. All right, guys, I'm back after cleaning that out. It took a little bit longer than I expected. There's a mouse nest up in there also, and piles of nuts. Went back all the way to middle of the tractor. Of course, I had to do the other side too. I couldn't get over to the other side yet, but all right, we got all this ready. It's time for us to go ahead and put in our bushings, and I will put a part number up for you. Okay, the top one goes in like this. Okay, the bottom one goes in upside down like this. And a lot of times you might have to put it in with the axle. Sometimes it'll just pop in like that right there. So, okay, our axle, it looks okay to the naked eye, but it still has a buildup on it and rust, which will wear down those bearings super fast. So, right here's where your bearings ride also. Let's see here. Yeah, you can tell there's been a lot of sand and dirt in there. That's actually smooth. I was looking at the wrong spot at first because I was trying to look at this through the camera. It looks actually pretty smooth. I want to go ahead and clean this up with a small grit sandpaper just so it's nice and clean, and I'll be right back with you. All right, I'm back. We got her all nice and cleaned up, so she should be good to go. So our next step is what I normally do is I put a little bit of grease on here, but I also put grease inside here. So okay, go ahead and get your gloves on. Just a pair of gloves that you're gonna throw away because it's gonna get nasty. And I'm just using just regular axle grease. Just your regular grease that you pump into your axles and bearings, stuff like that. Okay, so I'm gonna get a little bit like this. Let me get that tighter on my finger. There we go. All right, I'm gonna get a little bit on my finger. And I'm gonna just spray it around on the inside right there, real good. And I'm gonna do the bottom side too. There really isn't much you can do with this. It is what it is. These are not sealed off. They don't have grease fittings to grease them. It's just, it is what it is, guys. All right. You don't have to, but I still put just a little bit right there. It's gonna slide off anyways, but I'll just still put some on there. Just so I know I got a good lubrication on the unit, especially down here on the bottom where that bottom one rides. All right, now I'm gonna wipe that off my glove. Okay, when we put this in, it's gonna go in like this, okay? Axle facing you. Oop, I cleaned up the wrong one. Wrong side. It'll be all good because we're gonna grease that anyways also. All right, let's slide this up in here. That's nice and smooth. All right, let's put our spacer on right there. And then holding this up tight on the bottom like this, get your rubber hammer if all you have is a metal hammer, that's okay. But I prefer, and this is just square on the top right here. This is square. I'll show you. See, that's just a square. So it's square to square. And what I like to do, we haven't moved anything, so everything should still be the same. So when you put this up in here, make sure your axle's straight towards you, because we haven't moved the handle, the steering wheel or anything. So now tap this back on, and you want to get down pretty snug so there's no room for anything to get in here between those. Okay, now let's tighten this back up with your 1/2 inch socket and your 1/2 inch wrench. Let's get this tightened back up. And get this pretty tight, because this is what controls all your steering in the front. Okay, that's good enough. It feels smooth already. This thing plate has just a little play in it. Okay, all right. Let's get our wheel now. I want to clean up this because I accidentally did it instead of the other side, but it's all good, it's all fine. All right, I'm going to feel inside these bushings. What I'm doing is I'm feeling inside them to make sure there's no burrs or any buildup. If there's any buildup or burrs, you can take these out. They pull out sometimes fairly easy. Just make sure you put them back on the right side. Okay, yeah, you can take them out like this and clean them really, really good. This isn't too bad. I still might hit it with some cleaner. Let's see if this one's gonna pull out too. Nah, she's not gonna pull out. I'm gonna go ahead and clean both of these though. I'm gonna pop this one back in. And mine don't have much buildup on it at all. So I'm gonna put a little carb cleaner on my rag right here and just clean the inside out on it. All right, we got those cleaned up. I'm gonna go ahead and get some grease put on the axle here. Put my glove back on. Have a customer stop in. I'm gonna go ahead and squeeze just a little bit on my finger right here. Get that on our axle right here. Okay. Now when you put your wheel back on, make sure you got it with the valve stem sticking out, like so, okay? Unless on this tractor they have it backwards. Let me check the other side, because I'm pretty sure that's how they have it on this tractor. Yeah, okay. And then we're gonna slide this on, and that went on like butter. Let's do this real quick so it'll be easier for y'all to see what's going on too. Let's get this cotter pin put back in over here. Zoom in right here. So get your small cotter pin. You have a big one and a small one. This is the small one. We're gonna get our linkage right here. Get this lined up, push it up through that hole. And then push your cotter pin back through here. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna bend one side like this. Don't bend it too far to where it snaps, or don't wrap it around on this one. Do it kind of like that, if y'all can see that. Kind of like flat right here. because if you wrap it around here real tight, from you turning your axle over time, it'll wear into this groove right here and it'll start getting real sloppy. It's already sloppy anyways, but all right, let's get this on here. And there was no washer on that, if you're wondering. All right, let's put our cap back on here. And you're gonna want the cap to be, there's indentation right here like this. And that is gonna go so your carter pin can, this flat spot's gonna go right here so your carter pin can slide through your holes like so. All right, got that in there. And sometimes they can be a butt to get back in. Just work with it. And you can also get you a pair of pliers like this and bite it and tap it in. This one's wanting to be a butt on us, which is fine. We'll get it. There we go. All right. Now we're going to twist this side. And you're going to want to twist this far enough y'all see that? Y'all can't see that. You're going to want it to be twisted past this washer right here so that cap can go back on. I'm going to be gentle with this one just in case. Yeah, see that broke off because of the when we took it off, but this will hold. All right, let's get the cap, put it back on. Just be gentle with that also. All right, that's good. And if you want to put some more grease in, there's a grease fitting right there. I'll get that once everything's done. All right. I'll tell you what, that's about as cheap can be. Okay, now let's get over here to the other side. All right, guys, we're on the left side of the unit, and we're gonna go ahead and get this wheel pulled off. All right, we're gonna do the same process on this side. We're gonna get this carter pin turned, bent back straight. I swear they use the cheapest stuff. If you just wonder, I took the carter pin out the other side and put a brand new one in. I didn't want to leave it with that one pin broke off. It would have been fine, but I swear these carter pins they're using, I think they're made of aluminum. Because they break so easy. I have stuff coming here from the 40s and 50s, and the carter pins don't even break on them. Go. This one's gonna break too, so I'm just gonna put a new one on this side too. All right, let's pull this off. Get this set to the side. We're gonna have the same exact scenario over here. We got that carter pin to pull off. Our linkage going over to the other side. Okay, we'll get all this set over here to the side out of the way. Now this is where it can start getting a little tricky. Not this plastic cap. The plastic cap ain't nothing. Just pop it off like that and let it fly up into outer space, and let's not ever find it again. All right. This right here, this clip on the top, there we go. This clip on the top right here, what I do is I slowly walk it like this. I'm gonna get a bigger screwdriver. Don't get aggravated with it. Just work it slowly until you get it to pop off. See how it's popping off now? So you're gonna want to use 2 different screwdrivers probably, unless you just pull the axle back down like this every time it comes up a little bit. Which when you start to pry it up, you're gonna have a problem with it. So there we go. And we'll save this. All right. Let's get this out. Now tell me, why do they do this? I noticed they have a protector on this side, but they don't on the other side. I mean, it's not much of a protector anyways. Okay, I'm going to clean up this side of the axle and this side, and I'll be right back. All right, got both of those cleaned up. All right, we're going to do the same thing that we did on the other side. We're going to pull these out. And these seem to be a little more stuck than the other ones, which means they're probably really mushroomed out. All right, is that the same? Yeah, that's the exact same ones I got it. All right. Get my rubber hammer. Get my needle nose pliers. Okay. All right, let's get the vacuum cleaner and get all that vacuumed out. All right, we got that cleaned out. Vacuum out. All right, and we're gonna do the same process on this side. The top one goes on like so. Bottom one goes on like this. All right, we'll get some grease in there. Okay, we'll set that to the side. Let's get our axle and put it back on like this. I guess you can mistakenly put it on like this, but you know, it'll only go up that far. So, you know, it has to go on this way. Let's get some grease on all that. All right. Let's get this put back up in here. I like to pull it in and out a few times just to... Okay, now I'm just gonna get this grease that's stuck on here like this and do that. Wipe the rest of it off my finger. I'll pop this cap back on. All right, now let's pop this. Well, if I can pick it up with gloves on my fingers. It goes on like this, okay? You see those little lips on this washer pointing up? It goes on like that. It don't go on like this. It goes on like this. So let's put it on there like that. And you can put this on top of here like this. And then just tap it with your rubber hammer. And get it tight. And there you go. You're good to go. Let's put this cap back on. Let's see. I'm gonna put a little bit of grease up in here where this cap is. I wish this was like this on the other side. I had a cap like that. I'll do like this. That's just so some okay. What has happened here is gone down too far with our washer right here. So don't tap it too far down, but far enough down. There, we want to have a little lip like that. So let me work this back up. Just a little bit. Okay, there we go. That's gonna be good. All right, you see that little bit of play I have in that? It's just very little. What that's gonna allow for is for this cap to snap on to the washer right here. All right, let's try this again. This cap has some debris in it, and there's a little groove inside there. If you can see a little groove right there. See a groove? Let's see if that's what was holding it off now. And instead of hitting it on the hammer, I think I'm going to see it push that back down a little bit. There we go. All right. There we go. All right, we're good to go now. You just gotta be gentle with this cheap stuff. That's why I use a rubber hammer too, because if I would have been using a metal hammer like this and hitting it, it would have been just tearing that thing to pieces. All right, let's get our linkage hook back up. Put our pin back through. Get this turned. See, this quarter pin is working like it's supposed to. See how I can bend that and it doesn't break? That's how a real quarter pin is. This crap right here, let me show you. What you saw when I bent it to take it off. Let's see what's gonna happen. I bent it one time. Let's see what's gonna happen if I do like this. See, broke. Okay, let's get this other wheel on. Feel the bearings. The bearings feel really good on this side. There's no debris in it. Let me get those greased up real good. I'm just going to grease on here. Now I'm put some in the bearings themselves on the wheel. It smells like a mouse nest in here because there's so much mouse debris up in those axles. The axle housing. Okay. Get these slid on. And then we're going to do the same thing that we did over on the other side. Get that cleaned off. Put this on there like this. I'm going to go get a quarter pin. Got that cut. All right, got our new quarter pin. Let's get that inside there. All right, now let me find where there we go. Now let's twist this way. Yeah, see how that bends so easy? That's how a quarter pin's supposed to bend. The other one wouldn't even bend. All right, let's put this right here. Tap that in. Okay, that's good. Let's get this stuff in the garbage can. And we'll see how smooth that turns now. See here. Yeah, that's way smoother. Okay, let's check out some other stuff too. We've got all that lubed up. Let's take you to another point to check something. All right, if you want to, you can put some grease back there where my finger's pointing, where this gear meshes up with that gear. Okay. And another thing, if you want to do a full service on a steering, you can replace the bushing. There is a bushing that comes up. You have to pull the mower deck off to get to the bushing where your drive shaft or your steering shaft goes down through the bottom of this unit. If I remember correctly, you have to pull the whole steering wheel out of here shaft, and it fits in on the top right here. Let me get a screwdriver and I'll show you where it's at. Okay. Right here is a bushing, and it goes between your gear right here and your body of your tractor. See it right there? This gear sits on top of it. That's a bushing right there. This one has a little bit of play, but not much. So I'm just gonna squirt some WD-40 back there on that bushing. Another thing, if you have a lot of play in your system, you might want to check okay, I want you to watch something. This one is not too bad. I've seen them really, really bad. Your linkage right here that goes up to your axle, there's a hole in the middle of this that this bolt comes through. That hole will get wallered out over time, and when you turn your steering wheel, this bolt right here will move. When they get really bad, it can move a 1/4 inch before it even starts pushing on your linkage right here. Let's see if you can pick up on that. This one's just a little bit. See that, how it moved before it started moving the other, before it would catch and actually apply pressure. See, watch. See, it has a little bit of play in it. There's nothing you can do about that except replacing this linkage right here. So, all right. Let's get some WD-40 sprayed in there. And then we'll get it lowered down onto the ground. Let's see how she does. Okay, that's good and lubed up. These bushings. And this thing was quite hard to turn when it came in here. I've seen them way worse. They've come in my shop before and you can't even turn them. And you talk about a pain in the butt to get off a trailer and into your shop if the unit will only roll straight. Or if somebody had it sitting for a long time and the wheels were turned and they got froze that way, and when you push them more, it will only turn. Those are a pain also. All right, let's get this jacked up. Gently. All right. It's really never a good practice to turn a steering wheel on a tractor while it's just sitting still. I mean, that goes for any vehicle, but you won't be moving. You won't be rolling whenever you turn your steering wheel. But we'll go ahead and just see here. Oh yeah. That's way better than it was. Just that little bit. There is a little bit of play. You can see. Yeah, I'm moving in a whole lot before that catches. But yeah, that's way better. All right. Well, I hope that helps somebody out with changing out these bushings on these axles. It's very simple to do. Anybody can do it, but just wanted to give y'all a video on how to do it yourself while I was in the shop. And guess till next time, hope y'all have a blessed day, and we'll see you next time.